It's the matchmaker, Letitia Underwood here, and I wanted to have a discussion about can women actually have it all today in today's modern society? And I wanted to share with you a article I wrote for the Huffington Post um, that lays out exactly that, right? And the article is titled "Women Have Been Lied to. We Actually Can't Have It All." I have been conjugating on this for a few years now. Why do women believe they can have it all? Where did this concept or idea come from? Who told women this and why did they believe it? As I was watching the series finale of HBO hit Insecure, when Molly finally got her man, that's when I realized why women believe they can have it all. She married an attractive, educated, successful black man. And Issa got back with Lawrence after she cheated on him in season 1, to which he got with someone else and had a baby. This show has black women everywhere believing that they too can have such happy endings. When I started thinking back to Sex and the City, where Carrie finally gets Mr. Big after moving to France to be with another man that she didn't really love. However, I would say that Sex and the City was a little more realistic because Miranda ended up in a marriage where she was the breadwinner to a guy who was not only shorter than her, but he lacked an educational background, social status, and most importantly, charisma. Charlotte, after one failed marriage to a strapping, successful, and wealthy doctor, ended up giving a guy that most women her age and younger would have turned down because he wasn't considered conventionally attractive. Ironically, the one woman who was trying to have it all success, sex, and to live life according to her own terms, Samantha, ended up single by the time the stories officially ended with 2 movies. She tried to have it all, yet was never satisfied and walked away from a relationship with a hotter younger man who absolutely adored and loved her. Whereas her friends, who realized this was as good as it was going to get, ended up in fulfilling marriages. Yes, including Gary, because Mr. John Preston was no walk in the park with his galaxy-sized ego. When I start to think back further on shows where the women tried to have it all, I come back to the same conclusion. Most ended up single unless some screenwriter decided to live out the romantic fantasies about love and bring about a happy ending that's rarely seen in the real world. So now I'm left wondering, why do women not get this? Why do they not see that what's on the TV or movie screens is not real life? Waiting for the perfect guy to come along to fit every bit of their imaginings, long lists of standards and requirements, and have the looks and stature of a GQ model. Ladies, I'm here to tell you he doesn't exist. He is a figment of your imagination, a unicorn. I learned at a very young age that no one can actually have it all. Considering where I came from, it was clear that life is about choices and decisions. Good judgment versus bad judgment. Life is about negotiations and trade offs. In living my real life, even as a child, I knew what I needed to do in order to be successful at life and love. The latter was much easier than the former. So I continued to ask myself, why is it so difficult to get other women to understand this? As a certified professional matchmaker and dating specialist, I devote my time in connecting men and women for the purpose of a long term relationship that could lead to marriage. I do this by either taking on male clients who are very specific in their needs and desires and or designing strategies for men and women who only want help with their dating lives. While the men are less unrealistic and reasonable, the women are staunchly entrenched in this notion that they can have whatever it is they desire when it comes to love. I tend to engage in impromptu strategy sessions with a few young women ranging in age from mid 20s to late 30s. The mindset is always the same. I may get a few who understand that there has to be compromise, but when they come to this realization, you would have thought that I told them they would never find the love of their life. Well, I guess in a sense I am. What these ladies are starting to realize is that if they don't drop their mile long list of requirements, they will in fact die alone. Some don't even see what they want as a problem. They believe they're being quite reasonable, but then I ask them if they know what the probability of getting married is with every requirement on their list. They either don't know or they believe it's much higher than reality shows. These women are very successful and established in their careers and professions. Yet they have not successfully navigated the cesspool that dating has become. What these women have failed to realize is that while their predecessors fought for equality and to be seen as equal to men, they did not realize that men would start to see the movement as everyone is equal and deserves fair treatment, including them. Women were fighting for their right to get equal pay and to remove the double standards that do not benefit them. But they failed to see how much men would benefit from adjusting to what women wanted. Now they want equality as well, and that would mean doing away with the double standards that actually benefited women but left men at a disadvantage. Gone are the days of the predetermined arrangement, one where the man worked hard to provide resources and in turn the woman offered him a safe haven in his home. In this modern era, relationship dynamics for the most part are not formed along the lines of gender roles. Women are out here killing it in ways they never thought possible. While there's a large portion of women who are okay with the way things have become, a great majority of single successful women are left unhappy and unfulfilled in their dating lives with lackluster options. They get in their female friendship groups and blame men for their woes. I myself have lent a sympathetic ear and words of encouragement from time to time, but the burning question that continues being asked is, do women want too much? Do they want what they can't have? Do they want the unattainable? The answer is yes and no, because women can have what they want. They just need to understand the game and develop a strategy to get it. Women have to adjust their expectations if they require men to be men when courting or dating them. I tell my clients and friends to figure out what's the one thing you want most from a man in order to marry him. If you meet the man who can give you that, then everything else can be worked on. I'm not telling women to forego character and values because those are an automatic given. That's the ground floor. A man of solid character has a moral code and lives life according to a value system. But what else do you require of him? Focus on that and understand that all the other superficial stuff can be worked out or worked on, and you will see yourself having a much more successful dating life that could possibly lead to marriage. I give each of my clients a dating strategy based on their dating style. There's only two that I focus on. Either a person is modern or they're traditional. A modern dating style is based on combining two lives into one depending on negotiating roles and tasks. A traditional dating style is based on delegating tasks, typically correlated with gender roles, and there's no deviations. Once you realize your dating style, then you only deal with a person whose dating style is compatible with yours. Modern dating is a little more difficult because it leaves people open to want so much while doing so little. I have seen through my career as a matchmaker that traditional is much easier and the outcome for a relationship that will lead to marriage is much higher. Keep in mind that these dating styles aren't just simply based on your wants and desires. It's about your mindset, ideology, and value system. I'll close with this. Ask yourself, if you as a woman could truly have it all, then why haven't you gotten it yet?